along with us. But before we dive into the best TV shows of 2024, we're going to get to Media Mania, where we talk about entertainment news, new releases, and things like that. And the first thing I wanted to talk about was, of course, the Oscars. The nominations came out
Mhm.
recently, and a lot of people were happy, a lot of people were upset about them. Me personally, I like whenever nominations come out, I low key just tune it out because I know everyone else is gonna have their take. So I just kind of wait for people to like kind of say what they want to say, and then I'll figure out like what I think. But I felt I was actually surprised that Pamela Anderson wasn't nominated for
Yeah.
The Last Showgirl because I actually really liked that movie, and I feel like it kind of fell into the same vein as like The Substance, where it's like
Yeah.
older actress like kind of getting her like chance in the sun and the spotlight before it's all over for her. And obviously, like, they're different movies, but it has a similar vein, like a
Mm.
similar feel. So I was surprised to see that Pamela Anderson, she did an interview with Martha Stewart, and I was reading the interview, and it was really insightful. And I think that she accepted the fact that she got snubbed with a lot of grace. And
Mm.
in the interview, she just
But
said
you
that,
adore her.
yeah. She just said, I always say the win is in the work. I got to do something I really love, and I
Mm.
needed to do that for my soul. And I think it's great because she also received a Golden Globe, a Gotham Award, and a SAG Award nomination for her performance as well. So it's not like it wasn't recognized. It's not like it went completely under the radar. It's just that it didn't get any love at the Academy Awards, which happens sometimes in award season because
Yeah.
every award season, there's always going to be a snub, you know.
I'm gonna be honest with you, that was a movie that I really wanted to see, but, like, I haven't seen it yet. And,
Hmm.
I think it's because it kind of fell under the radar of when it got released for me
Hmm.
personally, because I do live in, like, a middle of nowhere, so I don't get all the movies, and I'm almost worried if that fell, like, against her, which is so disappointing because I remember her interview on Variety with, like, Actors on Actors with Mikey Madison, and, like, one of my favorite movies of last year is, Anora.
Hmm.
And I was just like, she got nominated as she should, and I was like, "Oh, then," I really thought that, like, that was setting them both up for Oscar nominations, so I feel like they were already, like, doing all this work for her to be in the Oscar running, and, like, I know she got other awards, but it's just like, yeah, I really was shocked to hear that Pamela Anderson was not nominated. Actually, I think there was a few snubs,
Yeah. There are
this
quite
year.
a lot of snubs in the Oscars.
I just
Yes.
can't believe the challengers got no
Nothing.
nomination.
Nothing.
None. Not even score.
And the
I
score is amazing.
Yeah, and, like, I don't know, maybe I loved challengers, and I was just
Mhm.
like, maybe I don't know if it was more fun and campy or something, but, like, that was quality work.
Yeah.
I'm happy the Substance got nominated, I'm happy Anora got nominated, Wicked, of course. But yeah, no, I was looking through the list and I'm like, I'll be honest with you, I don't all my favorite movies are definitely missing. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm feeling a lot of ways about the Oscar nominations. Trying to stay positive, and what you said about Pamela Anderson was so beautifully said. How she's taking it with grace is so nice. I'm happy
Mhm.
Cynthia got nominated. I feel like she definitely deserved it. I don't know if you saw Wicked, but like I think Cynthia Erivo was like one of my best performances. So I'm happy they're nominated. To me, Moore was nominated. That's all. Those are like the two people that was really standing out to me.
Mhm.
Yeah, I guess I have to watch more movies because a lot of a lot of the movies that are nominated. I'm like
Haven't seen
didn't
yet.
I didn't take them seriously. So
Mhm.
I have to do a second rewatch or something. So.
Yeah. I think for the last Showgirl, I don't know if it was because not a lot of people saw it because like The Brutalist is a film that got nominated, I believe, for the
Oh, the
Academy
Brewers
Awards.
also came out late too, right?
Yeah, and
So
also the movie's 2 hours long, and that's not, like, readily available for everyone to see,
yeah.
but I think that The Last Showgirl, I really don't know why it got snubbed. I feel like Pamela
Mhm.
Anderson, maybe it's because she had a bit of a controversial career or, like, because of the way that she came back into the limelight, really just, like, kinda telling her story and, like, being open about her past experiences. I feel like it's great that she did, and she got the chance to be in The Last Showgirl, and maybe, the Academy Awards just didn't feel like it was the movie, like that was her role, or like
Um,
it was like her moment.
mhm.
Whatever the reason may be, I'm happy that she's kind of like back in the limelight because I think she's a
Yeah.
very interesting person. And I feel
Mhm.
like she's one of those people that's been through a lot, but you could tell that like she's grown and
Yeah.
she's like, learned a lot from like what she's gone through from being like a sex symbol to now transitioning to a more serious actress. And I think that's a really great show of resilience and a really good show of growth, especially like in her personal life, you know, however she's dealing with that, but also artistically in like the
Hmm.
work that she does. And I feel like it's likely that she will get more roles. Hopefully, she will get more roles following The Last Showgirl because she really does do she is a
Yeah.
really strong actress.
Yeah, I always feel like she wanted to transition to a serious actress, and I feel like um, this is just the beginning for sure.
Hmm.
I really do love this like renaissance of these like women that we loved watching when we were younger, like Demi Moore and Pamela Anderson. It's really great that you compared it to the Substance. It's like, yeah, I really did feel like they were trying to make that message more
Hmm.
so because I know that I remember saying this like I loved the Substance, but I was like, yeah, it's like Barbie but horror. But you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
like that's important though. Like it's nice to come from like that point of view. It's nice when the women take the autonomy, especially these older, I don't want to say older, these veteran, those aren't good
I
words.
mean, they're you can say older.
I guess I say older.
Yeah.
I guess what is it was a mature. I guess like it's just like this like legacy of actresses who have
Yeah.
already made their name, and they're just like they're coming back and saying it again, but they're saying it like okay, but now we're still so relevant and still so important, and this is just the beginning of another like footing for us essentially. So
Hmm.
yeah, I guess like they're legends, like they're literal icons, and they're coming back for like another win, and it's amazing.
Yeah, I do agree with you on that.
Yeah.
And I feel like I have a lot of caveats about the Oscar nominations. I guess
Oh yeah,
one
fair.
being that like I did like Anora, but I am surprised that it got so many nominations because when I think about like the scope of all the films that came out this year and like
Yeah,
the different variety of talent,
true.
I think I liked Nora, but for it to win an Academy Award is very much a surprise because
Yeah,
it doesn't this is gonna sound like very pretentious, but it doesn't feel like an Oscar movie, you
I
know?
true, and I think what I you know what it is? I've always felt like the Oscars are a little out of touch.
Hmm.
And I mean that as like a person that is aware that like the people that are judging it are expecting a lot of prestige when they like judge movies. But I
Yeah.
feel like this was right with challengers Nosferatu. I saw the TV Glow. Like
Hmm.
these are movies that were great that I would pick on my favorite movies of the year list, right? But like Oscars probably would never. And so I think maybe that's why I was just like, yes, Nora won. Like Nora got it. Like I was just like, horror will never exist in the Oscars. And I think that's
Hmm.
my bigger issue is like, well, why isn't horror? Why do superhero movies and horror never like the substance getting it? I was just like, yes, the substance deserves to be there. So Nora getting it was also like this little person went like, yes, this little indie movie got
Hmm.
it. So like you're right. It wasn't very it wasn't probably as good, but it's just like, yeah, but like it made it, right?
Yeah.
I guess I also would have like challengers because this Dune 2 could have even been on more. Dude,
Hmm.
like I don't know. I think like I'm gonna butcher the name, but like the director got completely shafted that
Yeah.
they're completely on. I think like courtesy, I think they're in the best motion picture maybe like nomination. They're barely in it. Like Dune 2 is barely nominated. And I thought that was one of the best movies of the year too. So it's like I don't know why these movies that are like sci-fi heavy and like musical heavy or like sensitive subject matter like Showgirl or Nora, like they always get snubbed. So I think that maybe like that I took that as like a personal win. Like yes, Substance got in there, Nora got in there, Wicked's
Hmm.
in there. So
Yeah.
but you're right. I agree. Like compared to all the other movies, it's like, wow, Nora got in there? Okay,
Yeah.
interesting. But then why didn't Challengers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that with Challengers, it was definitely like a big hit. Like a lot of people went to go see it. A lot of people liked
Yeah.
it. Um, I feel like maybe it was because Luca had already been nominated for Call Me by Your Name, and that film got so much love in the Oscars. The Oscars love to do this thing where they're like, "Hey, so we know you exist, and you already got your recognition. You got your
Yeah,
flowers.
that's so
Like,
true.
it's cute that you're still making work, babe, but like, you know, there are other
Yeah,
people
and
who
then they
deserve
also
it."
do this thing where like you should have gone to Oscar, but we're gonna give it to you for this role instead. Like I,
Hmm.
you know, I don't know. I have actually personally been very disengaged from the Oscars as years go on. I remember thinking
Hmm.
like this is my Super Bowl. Like I remember when I was in my earlier 20s, like I used to watch every Oscar, used to watch every movie.
Yeah.
Um, I used to wait until the movie theaters re-released all the movies, so I would go and watch them if I missed them or something. And like now, I remember I read the list, of course, of nominations, but I was just like I felt like okay, like it is what it is. I knew I would be a little disappointed, and it kind of um. And again, I don't want to be negative, but like Amelia Perez like sweeping essentially, I was just like, I don't know, I couldn't
How
even
did
finish the
that
movie.
happen?
I couldn't even finish the movie, and I'm just like,
Netflix, is this
no,
what I'm paying for? For you
yeah,
to promote your terrible movie so you can get your Oscar buzz?
and I feel like they do this every year with
They
Netflix.
do.
Like
They
they did
do.
this with Blonde last year with no, not last year, 2 years ago with Blonde. What was it? That one Leonardo DiCaprio movie with that like was a Don't Look Up or something. Like they always
Oh
nominate these
yeah.
Oscar movies, these Netflix movies that are trying to have this deep message that actually are really tone deaf.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I don't know. So I almost feel like they're like pandering to each other, and it's starting to feel gross a bit, which
Hmm.
sucks as movie lovers, you know?
And there was a conversation prior when like Netflix had like really good movies on there, but people didn't take Netflix movies seriously because I feel like
Yeah,
TV movies because they're on streamers. And I
yeah.
remember like I don't remember exactly the name of the film, but Idris Elba had a film called like Beasts of No Nation, I think, and it
Oh
didn't
yeah,
get any Oscar buzz
nothing.
because they
Yeah.
didn't consider it a movie. And then it was, I believe, Steven Spielberg who was like ragging on Netflix for like weeks, saying like, "Oh, Netflix movies aren't real movies; they're TV
Mhm.
movies." And then you find out he has to deal with Apple TV
Yeah,
afterwards. It's like,
yeah,
sir, don't
yeah.
play in my face. All right?
Exactly. Yeah, and like I don't know. I can't keep up. Like, I don't like, do you love them? Do you hate them? Like, what are you pandering to
Exactly.
them? I don't like, but it's so wild that a Netflix movie gets nominated every year now to me.
I mean, Netflix does
In the
have good
wins.
movies, but
Yeah,
the thing is that like they keep nominating the wrong movie.
exactly. I was gonna say, like, they do, but it's the wrong movie that gets recognition. Like, Blonde was
Yes.
terrible. Like,
Mm.
I hate that movie. Amelia Perez, I don't feel comfortable talking about
Hmm.
because I don't think I'm the person to talk about that movie. But like, I have heard many conversations that like the movie was not it and wasn't the representation that like people were actually looking for.
Right.
So, yeah, I don't know. It's like for me, it's like, oh, you're nominating Mindy Kaling for like her conversations, and it's like, yeah, no, you. Just, it almost feels like they're tokenizing, like, oh, we represent, we saw trans people, like we're nominating about trans people. It's like, yeah, but
Hmm.
for the messaging, like I saw the TV Go was right there,
Yeah.
which is like such a better movie. And again, but it's horror, so no one's gonna take it seriously. But it's like it's not fair.
Yeah.
Like some horror movies, it's so much for like actually pushing the envelope of creativity and original movies
Hmm.
in Hollywood, and it's like they never get recognized.
It's the fact that Silence of the Lamb is one of the only horror films to get nominated for Best Picture, but it's one of the most iconic horror films or
It
iconic
wasn't,
films out there.
yeah, I guess the Substance this year, right? And then
Substance this year.
wasn't Get Out nominated for something once? Yeah. So
Yeah.
those are the three movies we can name. All rightly so, but like that can't be the only movies to
It's
ever
not
like
the only
horror movies.
movies.
Yeah, it can't be the whole only horror movies. I like for Temple Geek, we did this whole like not little like best of list with like the editors, and there was like fantasy, there was sci-fi, there was superhero, there was animated anime,
Hmm.
and every there was like 5 to 6 musicals, like 5 to 6 solid movie choices that we could pick from. Horror triple in lists compared to all the other ones because that's how good horror was. Like horror's just been killing it for the past few years, and it's just like I don't know. That's what I said. I'm happy the Substance got like nominated, but it's so crazy that like there's so many important messages that these horror movies focus on, especially when it comes to pushing representation, talking about like things that need to be said, especially in this climate. And like Oscars, like no, let's focus on Don't Look Up.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Yeah, it feels very empty when you look at the
yeah,
nominations when it comes to
that's
like
a very good word for it.
representation. Yeah.
Hmm